And now, broadcasting live from the Dark Room studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Hey everybody, welcome to In the Know. I'm Craig Ramey, one of your hosts here on the show that we have here every week, where we just kind of talk about things going on in our community, and every once in a while we act a little bit silly, but not too much. We have a small threshold for how much silliness we'll do. And the person who keeps that under control, of course, is sitting here to my right. Who we got over here?
Morning, everybody.
Hey, it's Megan
Johnson. Yes. So I keep you in control. So I
kind of.
I thought I was the one who lost control usually, but thank you. I'll take that compliment.
Yeah, I was giving you credit. Nobody's in control here.
Nobody's in control except for those that are in the control booth. So let's throw it to them. And there we have Zanetta and Holly.
Hi.
Yeah. Who else we got in there? Look.
And there's Eli.
Eli giving us the lean in, right? And we're missing out on the best part of what Eli's got with his outfit today.
Show us your pants.
Oh, yeah. Stand up on the chair there.
Purple pants.
Eli says that when he wears his purple pants, anything can happen. So
no, he said he can do anything.
Isn't that not the same thing?
No. Anything can happen is...
Oh, he's more in control.
Yes.
Right. So purple pants give him control. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Very good.
And we have Philly in there, too. He's going to be joining us on the show in a little bit as well.
Hey, Philly.
Yeah.
Did I get it off?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Did I get off?
Yeah, you
okay.
did. Yeah.
So we got to take care of each other. So Craig did this to make sure I knew that I had lipstick on my teeth. So it's all good.
I'm here for you.
So, yeah. Well, so, having good friends.
Do I have any on my teeth?
If you have lipstick on your teeth, we got bigger issues. So, anyway, speaking of teeth, I had my teeth cleaned this morning. Look,
oh.
I got an A+ from the dentist and the hygienist.
They look great.
Don't they?
Yeah.
I said, I wish they were a little whiter. And she's like, no, they're good. And I'm like, yeah. So, have you ever considered whitening your teeth?
I have. I probably should. I drink a lot of coffee.
I do too.
Yeah.
And red wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And blueberries. All the things that they say aren't. But I'm going to own it.
Yeah, you're okay.
Like Eli's purple pants. I'm going to own it.
Or purple teeth.
Or purple, or I'll
like plum. The purple braces, right?
Yes.
That's one of the discussions we've been having in the house, because braces are going to be happening next year. And
God bless.
Yeah. So I'm all for the plain silver braces, because it's not really much of a fad or a trend that you'll regret, I wouldn't think, anyway. But if you get the multicolored ones, it looks like you got a mouthful of Legos.
So actually, you can get the clear ones, and then you get the wires that are different colors. So you can go with your team sport, or you can go with the seasons and that kind of stuff. So when Michaela had them, she had the clear brace on the outside, but then the wires she could change them.
That sounds like a lot of work.
No, because you have to go in and get them changed anyway, because they go in and they tighten them. So they have to change. I mean, they.
I do know that. I have braces.
Do you want white, or do you want silver, or do you want purple?
Yeah.
Do you want red and green?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just had metal ones. I just had a metal mouth. I had a retainer and then a metal mouth.
Metal mouth.
Yeah.
That was the name of your band too, right?
Yes, we played nothing but mouth metal. Yeah, it was very angry. We would wire our jaws together and we just go.
Oh, I'm so sorry I missed that stage in your life.
Yeah, it was a big time.
That was when headgear, you could actually
I had headgear briefly.
External headgear.
Yeah, I had headgear briefly.
Now they
do
it
internal. Did you ever have that?
No, I've not had any braces.
Nothing
or
at all.
Nothing.
Well, look at you.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm very thankful that my parents were able to let me have braces, because
it is a privilege.
It really is.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
Yeah, but it was. My teeth were kind of all over the place before that. But yeah, I had the one that goes over the back of your head and comes down.
Like the CPAP
that
now?
was only for sleeping, because you don't want to wear that to school.
My brothers had to wear it to school with just the single strap around the ear head.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I
never
really wore it, though.
We all played trumpet. And both of my brothers had braces while they were playing trumpet. And so
me too.
They had to pack the braces down with wax so you could play.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Look at Zanetta's in there rubbing her teeth like, oh, God, that sounds like it hurts.
I forgot about that. I did that too.
Remember, had to pack the wax down so you didn't cut the back of your lips?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I covered it up. I only slept with the headgear one night because I rolled over in my sleep. And the thing about headgear is it's this piece. It's basically like wearing a football helmet, right? You've got this piece of metal that comes out around your face. So if you roll over in your sleep, you wake up 6 inches off the pillow, hovering over your bed, realizing that you're not in a nightmare. You've actually just woken
Rolled
up.
over.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. All these things that we're talking about, for some could actually cause quite a bit of stress, whether it's going to the dentist, being in public speaking and having lipstick on your teeth, or
the dentist can be stressful.
I relax. I kind of just go somewhere else. And she kept saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Like, just get it done.
Yeah.
So I floss my teeth every day. There's no problems. Just get me done.
Yeah. Have you ever seen at some of the pediatric dentists where they have like the straps for the kids? That's awful, right?
No, that's not cool.
I'm so glad. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. And
That's
it's not
stress.
Cool.
That is stress. If you're so stressed out at the dentist that you've got to be like
strapped,
lashed to the table. Yeah,
some
that's
people have to
good.
be sedated.
Yeah.
They have.
I've only had to do that once.
Sedation
for wisdom teeth.
Mm-hmm. I had mine taken out without anesthesia. Be impressed.
I'm not impressed.
No, yes you are, because that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
just
they
one
put
at
me
a
out
time.
and then they took mine out with a hammer.
No, they did mine one at a time, and it was an impact, and they rolled it out. I mean, it wasn't pleasant.
Did you keep them?
No, my brother got his out on Halloween, and he had the doctor drill holes in it, and so he wore them around his neck, like a necklace.
Yeah, why not?
It's kind of gross.
No, it's cool.
I think it's gross. Okay, well, speaking of all these things, guess what today is? Stress Awareness Day. So
is that a good thing?
It's a good thing, and I did. That's our conversation ahead of time. Just so you all know, was not planned. This is not scripted. It just happened to be, and I just found that segue. So everyone has stress. We all go through stress. Some stress is good. If too much stress can be bad.
Yes,
right?
Stress can be a good motivator.
Stress can be
take you out of your comfort zone and make you try and do new things that you never thought you could do before.
So, but to identify the stressors that impact your mental and physical health is very important. Sometimes health problems are the cause, but our health can also be affected by external stressors such as physical abuse, stressful work environments, stressful finance situations, and other family health issues. So, but once that's identified, the cause of stress in your lives, we can begin to eliminate or reduce. Because we really can't, I think eliminate's probably a strong statement to eliminate stress.
I don't think you can eliminate stress from your life, but you can eliminate causes of stress in your life.
Or how you react to it.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I think that's any situation in life. If you change your perspective, you change the outside world's ability to impact the amount of stress it has on you.
So some tools that may help with the stress may include develop coping skills for anxiety. Identify and let go the things that you cannot change. Exercise, which you do often.
I started exercise as a stress reliever.
Good for you. It does help to let go and any other built-up anxieties and whatnots. Eat a balanced diet that will fuel your body, where you are better able to cope with stress. So if you are lactose intolerant, don't go eating ice cream to get rid of stress.
Yeah, but what if I'm stressed because I want ice cream?
Then eat the lactose-free.
Okay. I guess I never really thought about that existing.
Yeah, I don't have that issue, but I don't. I love ice cream, but I don't eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started exercise so that at a previous place of employment, if I would get stressed out about things that happened throughout the day, then I would end my work day and then go exercise and have all of the arguments and discussions in my head while I was running that I did not get resolved during the day.
Good for you.
Yeah, it helps.
Well, they said to observe Stress Awareness Day is develop a routine, that was your routine, and it'll help lessen your tension.
Yeah.
Go for a walk. Do some deep breathing. You and I both did that before we came on because we were kind of equally rushed for different things. We both went, and just let it out. What else? It says, go get a massage.
Oh, well, that'll solve all problems.
Holly said no. Zanetta said yes. Oh, she's saying it because, it is, it costs money.
It's
costly. It is
Yeah.
costly. I'm not sure I would have reduced stress with a massage. It's one of those things I don't know. Not real
for some,
comfortable.
I think getting a massage would be stressful.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think I'd
uncomfortable
like it.
for some people.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I think it's...
Really?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it is costly, so I don't have them as regularly as I would. If it was covered by insurance and not an extra cost, I'd have one every month.
Maybe we can get some lobbying going on with that, right?
Well, I mean, I think...
if it was a stress reliever, doctor prescribed.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get a lot of people to sign on to that. I think some of you more innovative and private companies are all about it, but yeah, you're more state-sponsored. It's going to be difficult for people to say, let's spend tax dollars on people getting massages. Most people are not going to be on board with that.
Well, speaking of which, our esthetician program here at Craven Community College, they do teach massage, the art of massage, as well as I think they with the hot stones. They also teach them the hot stones as well.
But it's not massage therapy, though. We do need to be
it's
clear
not
about
massage
that.
therapy.
Yeah. But I
said
will
the
say,
art of.
Yes, I will say that is one of the most chill places on our campus. I've only gone in there when we've had filming that we've had to do. But you go in there, it's always the really sedate music and the aromatherapy and the candles and
lavender everywhere.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
I should do that.
You can go and get
I know,
a
that's what I'm
facial
saying. Yeah.
on your lunch break.
Yeah, I mean, we have staff and faculty that get them as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and people from the community can come in and get them as well, and our students are able to learn and practice on them. Yeah.
So here's another suggestion. They said take a long, relaxing bath.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is it not relaxing for you to take a bath? Yeah.
No, it would stress me out if I had to take a bath, because then you get in there and then you're cold, and I don't do baths.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, that would stress me out. Okay, this is kind of funny. This is like
a horror movie, stress bath.
Really, I'm just thinking funny.
Yeah.
So we moved into the house that we're in now about 18 years ago, and I was expecting Michaela. Okay, so I was quite pregnant. We had a very deep jetted tub shower combo. Zanetta's like, I know where she's going on this one. I thought, oh, she's at school. It's quiet. I'll give myself a nice relaxing bath. I turn the jets on, which is over by the door. So you have to crank the timer. And I crawl in. I got stuck.
You got stuck?
I couldn't get out. Quit,
Zanetta. She's
deep? Laughing. No, it wasn't that it was too deep. I got in there and I couldn't figure out how to maneuver my legs up so I could get out. It wasn't like there were handles or bars and it was really tall, and I'm short and pregnant, and it was.
Oh no!
Yeah, I eventually.
How long were you in there? This is
too long. That's why I'm stressed.
You have stress. I would be stressed about bathtubs. I'd be stressed about any situation where I got stuck there.
So eventually, I was able to kind of wiggle around, and I got one leg up, and I kind of got up on a knee, and then got out. But I was like, never again.
Were you calling for help?
Who was I going to call for?
I don't know.
Nobody was home. I didn't have a cell phone sitting by my family. I mean, back then, I think I probably had a flip phone. I mean, we're talking 18 years ago.
It has been years since I've taken a bath. A shower. Let me
I've
just
taken
clarify.
one since then.
Let me clarify. I do clean myself. But yeah, it's been years. And the last time I did, I was seriously in the bathtub for maybe 20 seconds before there was a knock on the door from a kid wanting something.
Yes.
So it's like, why am I doing this?
Or the dog.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I just had an idea. I would love, because we always ask these kind of questions, says, oh, make a comment, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way, Zanetta or Holly, where we could actually somebody could go in and vote and find out, who finds baths relaxing or not? Is that something that we could do?
I don't know if we can do a poll right now, but people can just comment and they can say,
yeah, but can we create
relaxing, yes or no?
Can we create a poll? Is that something we can do for the podcast? I know that's a conversation after the podcast.
Yeah, probably after.
But I think that'd be a fun thing to throw in there. Just popped in my head.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think, most
things pop into my head.
All right, let's go and get a survey of the booth. Bathtub, stressful or not stressful? What you got?
If I can find the 20 seconds to not have a knock on the door, it's relaxing.
Okay. There we go. What does Holly say?
I always have to be moving, so I don't like to sit still in the tub.
Okay. What you say, Eli?
Yes, baths. Candles and hot, if it's hot, or an ice bath in the morning.
Ew, an ice bath.
Ice bath.
What about bubbles? Do you do bubbles?
Oh, yeah, bubble bath with candles floating around and, blue lotuses in my water, all that stuff.
Eli knows how to chill.
Eli, that's like the life.
Yeah,
it's rare, though. It's rare.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it's a de-stressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom line is that if you are struggling with stress and it's consuming your life, you can speak to your doctor or check with an employer for assistance programs. But bottom line is get help so you can help balance your life. And if you have any ideas, you can post them on hashtag Stress Awareness Day on our website or on social media. So continue to do that. And you were talking about the benefit of stress. Stress potentially improves our learning, memory, and focus. However, long periods of stress are also potentially harmful.
Yes.
As I can attest. I got the T-shirt for it. So, okay. Guess what else it is? And I kind of look at the glow. See the glow on the other side of my shoulder?
Yes, you're always glowing, Megan.
I am, but today it's yellow. And it kind of goes with our next day of. It's National Deviled Eggs Day.
Oh, nice.
I didn't bring them.
Are you kidding me?
So I love to eat them. They're a bear to make. I mean, I find them difficult to make.
Yeah.
The ingredients are super easy. For me, it's getting the proper temperature to get them boiled and get them peeled without messing them all up. And
it's
then
the peeling part,
it
right?
is.
That stresses me out.
It
you want
is.
to talk about things that stress you out?
And then they look like they need like camouflage paint by the time they're done. They're like all pitted and got crevices, chunked out of them.
Yeah.
But I do love making them. And or if they gets really bad, just turn it in an egg salad. Deviled eggs are just egg salad looking pretty.
I've done that several times.
Of course, with Zanetta paprika on top. Yeah, that's her spice.
That's her
Remember,
spice.
that's her flavor.
I got you. Yeah.
So how do you do your deviled eggs?
What is it? A little bit of mayo, some mustard, some relish. I'm not terribly complicated on it. Yeah.
But do you like the sweet relish with more mustard, or do you like the salty with the dill? What do
I'm
you
more
like?
salty dill.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Just a touch of mustard.
Okay.
Yeah, salt, pepper, touch of mustard,
A little bit of hot sauce.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I
Some
could do
tiger
without it.
sauce.
I could do without the tiger sauce.
Yeah.
But some of the things that they had suggested, and of course we're about to get into party time.
Excellent.
Party planning time, is what were some varieties? It says.
Well, Thanksgiving is really about the only time I feel like I get to have deviled eggs.
Gotcha.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, and when it's deviled egg day and you bring them in, I'm still waiting for you to surprise me.
Well, deviled eggs are not real travel friendly, so that's why.
But you can't break them; they're already cooked.
No, but they could go bad in my car, going traveling back and forth. So
Deviled eggs don't last long enough to go bad.
okay. So
Shut me down already.
If they like them super creamy, it says add a little sour cream. If you like them tart, add a splash of vinegar, which is interesting. You can garnish with paprika, crunchy bacon, caviar, anchovies, or herring. Ugh, sorry. And experiment. What else? First known print reference referring to the term deviled about food appeared in 1786 by the 19th century. Devilish referred to spicy or zesty food. I don't know if I'd consider a deviled eggs zesty or spicy.
They might have made them completely different.
Put like your hot sauce in it.
Maybe.
Yeah. The term also applied to eggs prepared with mustard, pepper, or other ingredients stuffed in the yolk cavity.
I'm sorry. I'm hung up on yolk cavity. It's a pairing of words I've never heard before or even thought that needed to be put together. The yolk cavity. Yeah. It doesn't sound good, right? Yeah. Zanetta says no.
So what's the difference? Have you ever had the difference between regular paprika and smoked paprika?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you taste the difference? Is it a big difference?
I mean, one tastes smoky.
Okay. You can also substitute mayo for avocado or lime.
Oh, yeah. I've done that a couple times, but yeah, you got to have the mayo in there. I mean, I love avocado, but if you're going to have a deviled egg. There was a place I went to around Burlington. I can't remember where it was, but they had, you know how like if you go to some breweries, they'll have the flights that you can get of different beers. They had flights of deviled eggs.
Really?
Yeah. They had about a dozen or so that you could choose from, and so you could just pick and choose. So if you wanted to try some of these funky, interesting types, you don't have to spend all day making it, and they were all delicious.
I bet.
Just and all uniquely different.
Like in a flight, then you can pick your favorite, and then just actually get another plateful of
yes,
that favorite.
of an order of your favorite. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it just deviled eggs, or was that just one of the options? Like, did they have other appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and stuff?
Oh, I mean, it was a restaurant that had lots of other things, but that was one of the things that was really unique and cool
How
about
clever.
it. Yeah.
That is neat.
Yeah.
They said you could top your eggs with bacon and chopped tomatoes and chives. That sounds like a Cobb salad.
Well, I mean, that's what people do. I mean, the same thing like with the Bloody Mary. You fill it in with like shrimp and bacon and olives.
The kitchen sink.
And then you've got, a salad.
A salad.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I got it. Well, go home tonight now that I got you excited and see the glow now that we think of the yolk. That's my yolk cavity.
It's right behind you. Yeah.
I'm glowing.
I don't know what to say about it. Now it does kind of look like a yolk cavity.
It does. It's my yolk cavity.
Yeah.
So you don't have the glow. You just have the backdrop.
I'm
Craven
flat
backdrop.
and boring. Yeah.
Flat and boring.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, I voted 2 nights ago. How
Did
about
you? No, I'm early voting goes through this weekend, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I was planning to go this Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, so I got home about 6:20 or so, and I grabbed my husband. I said, "Hey, let's go vote." And he's like, "Oh, really? Still?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's open till 7."
Yeah.
So we went ahead down there and voted. And I just wanted to share and celebrate November 2nd history today. For several reasons. The 1920 election is very notable. Thanks for the passing of the 19th Amendment, women voted in the presidential election for the very first time. Of the 100 signers of the Declaration of Sentiments of the 1848 Women's Rights Convention, only one lived to see the day, Charlotte Woodward Pierce. The voters elected Warren G. Harding as president, and the KDKA radio station in Pittsburgh becomes one of the first broadcasting voting returns. So...
It's a great day to vote. We encourage people to go and do their early voting today.
And celebrate that women can vote now. Since
yes.
1920.
Well, yes.
For the this wasn't a presidential. This is more local and state. So, but we do encourage people to get out and do your civic duty.
Yeah. Maybe if we are able to find it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, maybe if we're able to find it, we can put a link in the comments that lets folks know when early voting is done. But I do believe it's Saturday.
There is a website that was pretty easy to find. I think it was just Craven Early Voting, and it pops up and it shares the different locations and the days and times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while you've been... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I think that Zanetta had something she wanted to share, some pictures of something that's coming up that you... She's got big eyes.
Oh, it's probably later.
No, because we were going to show a picture to transition.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Zanetta knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. I don't know.
She's scrolling through her iPad. So I also, this past Friday, on the base, the Cherry Point base there, USMC, I was part of a career fair, and I was very honored to go and represent Craven. And these were the majority of the gentlemen and gentlemen and women that came through are transitioning out. So this was an opportunity for them to learn about our Skill Bridge programs, our other curriculum side of the house, our career programs, and other workforce. So it was a treat to be there. It was a great day of networking. So some of our other community colleges were represented as well. So yeah, it was good.
And that was at the Teaching Education Center?
Exactly.
On base? Okay.
Over on C Street. So that brings me to the transition to our guest.
Oh.
Would you like to do the
honors?
honors?
You go for it. You got your transition all figured out.
I do. So down here at the end of the table with us is Billy Solano. He is with us representing Veterans Affairs Coordinator, and who is a veteran himself. And whoops, we lost you. There we go. Well, they didn't lose me. They're just going to have to refix you.
Yeah. Something happened with the camera.
That's all right. Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have Philly here with us. Philly's been a guest before. Philly, pull this down a little bit closer to you so you don't have to hunch over. There you go, so we can hear your voice.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to the show, Philly.
We'll leave the camera off. That might be
better.
No, we got the camera. We got to have the camera close up.
Yeah.
But we're glad to have you. You've been in this role for several months now.
At this point, yep.
And but you've always been there for the veterans, so we're glad to have you in this coordinator position.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, and you've got some stuff to talk about of things that upcoming events, right?
I do. The big thing coming up is Havelock is hosting the Veterans Day Luncheon, Observance and Luncheon, headed up by Sylvia King down in Havelock. It is on November 10th, 11:30 to 1. So we encourage all student veterans, family to go down there. We're going to have a couple different organizations as well from the community that serve our veterans present down there to talk a little bit about what they do, and hopefully maybe get some feelers out for the Student Veterans of America chapter that we're hoping to start, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. So did you say that was a luncheon that's happening on campus?
Correct.
Okay. And is that for people who are currently students at Craven, or people from the community if they want to come out, or
primarily for students?
Okay.
And their family.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, great. And I'm sure we've got the flyer somewhere, but just so we can hear it again, let's get the times and dates for that. So it's Thursday, November 10th, from 11:30 to 1 p.m.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
And it's also for not just the students and their families, but there it is, something. But it's also our instructors. We have so many instructors and staff that are veterans as well, and so it's always it's a great opportunity to go out and shake hands and have conversations.
It's a great time also for students to see, student veterans see who those instructors that are veterans as well, so they can have something to, relate, especially when they go into the classroom. A lot of them being their first time they've ever stepped foot on a college campus
exactly.
in years. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I find that a lot of the classes that I'm able to provide at the Havelock campus, the majority of my instructors are veterans that come from all kinds of walks of life, different timing of years that they were in service. And not only are they delivering this amazing content to the student, but they are also there's that level of mentorship that also happens.
Exactly.
And then there's that camaraderie amongst the other students, because they all come in. They're not like all staff sergeants that walk in the door. There's the corporal and the master chief, and everybody's getting the same material. Mm-hmm. And although there's an underlying, what's the term? Probably as a veteran, you can probably put the words in my mouth a little bit better. There's always an underlining respect for people's rank, but when you come into the classroom at Craven, you're all equal.
Yep.
So, so that's one of those things that I think it's neat.
Well, I've heard it said many times, and many of our students that come in, they gravitate to the other veterans without even mentioning, you don't have to stand up. You don't have to say, oh, I'm a veteran, this and that. Many times they prefer that it's not highlighted. But after they know, they realize, oh, well, I'm sitting next to another veteran. It's just kind of like that persona, that the way they carry themselves, the way that you understand, you know who's served who. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You've got we'll have students to come over to sign up for SkillBridge or to come and work with you to do their VA package. And I'm like, come on over. Come take a tour while they're students in the lab or in the classroom, and they get to meet the instructors and ask questions. So hold on one second. She wants you a little closer. She can't hear you.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm trying to talk and signal. I couldn't chew and talk at the same time.
No, that's all right.
So anyway, I just think it's really cool. So they instantly, like you said, they hit up a conversation. Mm-hmm. They know how to talk the talk and walk the walk. And I don't know half the time what they're talking about, Craig, because they're all in acronyms and slang.
Same for me.
And so I'm getting better.
Yeah.
But I'll just walk away and I'm like, okay, the conversation's with them and they're in good hands.
But I would think, even with all that common language that you and all the veterans have, the one part where you probably have to help them the most is actually trying to understand the benefits that are available to them, right?
Exactly.
Because it's a ever-moving target, and based on when you're getting out, how long you've been out, who you want it to go to, what you want to do, the rules can really change and be very specific. And I'm guessing that's a big part of what you do at the college as well, right?
I do. A lot of it is really getting them to understand that they're individuals. Yeah. And that's something that they haven't heard their whole time being in the military.
Yeah.
Because you've heard Army of One, you've heard leave no man behind, all these different phrases, and now you're here at a community college, you're here at a university, whatever the case might be, and you have decisions to make that affect you and only you.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that's hard for them to grasp. Mm-hmm. But you're right, having them, my role is to guide them in making the most educated decision for what chapters are going to benefit them.
Right.
All depending on their time in service, what they did, and even after they got out, are they claiming disability? Are they not? What do they ultimately want to do? Are they doing a workforce program? Are they doing career programs? Are they looking to transfer to a university? How does that look, and what chapters is best for you? That's where we can guide them. We can't make the decision for them, of course.
Yeah.
But we can guide them to make their best decision based on their situation.
Mm-hmm. And the time that they need to engage with you is not necessarily after they're already out, right? It's varying periods of time. If you've got almost a year from being out, or 6 months, or depending on what chapter you're going to use, you may need to start that process before you are finished, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We have a lot of our veteran students, and in the VA team, we call them unicorn, because they're prepared.
Yeah.
And it's not a common thing, but we love it when they are. And it's the ones that, like you said, with the knowledge ahead of time, they come in, they know what chapter they're going to be using, they know what program they want to do because they've done their research.
Sure.
And I think if we can get ahead of that and start providing that information early as they're getting out in these SEPs and TAPS courses, just like Megan, just like you did, that's going to help them. That's going to set them up for success right off the cuff. They're not going to come in here on TD1 kind of confused where to go.
Yeah.
So.
Is there like a major, or I guess a most common question or concern that you have to help solve for a lot of the veterans as they come in, something that they weren't prepared for? Yeah, go ahead.
Where's my money?
Yeah. It's a simple question with a complicated answer.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I know that all these benefits, they've earned them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they are entitled to them. But a lot of times, it's not so much, the way that I said it. Where's my money? But it's, when am I going to get my benefits? How
Sure.
do I know they started? Did I do the right thing? That's really, I think, what they're trying to say is, did I do everything I needed to do? Because I'm used to an environment where I'm told what to do.
Right.
Do this, do this, do this, instead of, well, here are your options.
Right.
So I think a lot of times they're making sure that they're on check, they're good, and that we're good on our end, and don't need anything else from them. So
Yeah.
One of the things that I tell them often, I praise them when they come to us and they're saying, hey, I'm transitioning in 18 months. I'm like, thank the Lord you came to us now.
Yes.
Even if we're not the right choice, but they've started that process. The ones that show up and say, hey, I'm getting out December 31st and they called me yesterday and they want to know what they can do, you got to jump through some hoops, and sometimes you can't assist them. You can guide them if they're leaving, because a lot of times they get their EAS, their DD-214, and off they go back home. And so, but the other ones that are staying, then, okay, it's not too late. This is what we need to do first. I had that phone call. And then he kept saying, so what do I do? I said, I told you, you're calling back Philly. You're getting your paperwork straight. Yep. Then you're calling back me and let me know it's done so I can do da-da-da-da-da. So there is some, in lack of better words, some hand-holding that has to be done. Correct. Because they've not been in this environment. It's not an SOP that they've been accustomed to. Correct. So it's not that they can't follow directions. They've just never been a part of that. So, but it is rewarding when they are done and they come in and they're like, thank you. Like, yes. When it all works out, we're like, oh, thank you. But
I don't mind breaking it down Barney style is my favorite phrase. And it's not to mean dumbing it down in any way, but it really means, let me break down the steps for you, because it can be a lot. You were looking at one page, you might be looking at, what are the steps to get into the workforce program? What are you looking at this? Or the nursing, we have a lot of them that go into the nursing program that has their own steps. But really the question is, where do I start?
Yeah.
How can I get started? And that's where I think, by being that hub of information, like you said, before they get out, can change their decision on whether they go back home to Utah or wherever they're from, or they stay here in Eastern North Carolina. I say there's something in the water. I stayed out here because of the connections that I had at Craven when I was a student, as a student veteran, going through the VA, going through TRIO and other programs that were the support that said, you know what, I don't need to go back home. I got the support system here. So.
I can also, if I can brag a little bit, they also give great feedback, and they're so grateful. They'll email you, and it might be 13 minutes or 3 hours later, but you respond by a phone call and like, oh, ma'am, I didn't realize you were going to call me right back. And I'm like, well, it's probably easier than all in the email. So let's talk through it. I'll send these links, blah, blah, blah. And the response time that Craven is able to provide back, and I think that is vital. And it also gives them the confidence that they are going in the right direction.
Well,
so I'm going to brag about you too.
Well, call me old, but I'm not a texter. If I get a text 9 out of 10 times, I'll pick up the phone and call you right back.
Yeah.
Because it can take 20 minutes texting back and forth, and 2 minutes on the phone.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you're right. A lot of times it is just that, picking up that phone, making that connection, knowing that someone on the other end of the line. It's not some automated email.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
and they've got an actual point of contact immediately. And knowing that when you're done with them, you know which direction you're supposed to send them, and when I'm done with them, I know what direction I'm supposed to send them. So there is that, and they do become part of. They feel like a family, like it's a whole different. Now I'm a part of a different unit,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
and able to walk that. So it's very cool.
And that's all. And that's really what we're trying to establish. If I can kind of segue into that part, but the Student Veterans of America chapter. It's a national organization with their headquarters being just steps from the White House. I have the pleasure of going to see them here in a couple weeks, so I'll get to chat with them a little bit more and talk about this formation of this chapter. But our goal is to establish this chapter so students can have that place where they can have that camaraderie with one another, know who they are without having to be in that classroom physically, talk with others who have been in different walks of life, those E3s to those E9s to those officers, who have done life but are also going through student life at the same time, that can be mentors to one another. So that's ultimately the goal. Like you said, I think that's what hopefully SVA will establish for our students here on campus.
That's really cool. So you're trying to put a chapter here.
Correct. We need 10 students, student veterans that want to be involved, and then of course an exec board from those students, and then we can have a national chapter.
So what
That's awesome.
If somebody's interested in doing that, if somebody wanted to help be a part of that initial chapter, what would you ask them to do?
So email va@cravencc.edu. That'll go directly to myself and our VA team, as well as there will be a interest meeting in December, probably right before the break, to hopefully get something started in the spring.
And speaking of your VA team, you're not by yourself. You also have Lisa Greenberg, who's part-time. And is there anybody else that's also on your team that?
Yes. We recently just got a VA work study. So I'm super, super excited. So I'm, there's no way I could do this by myself. And they actually keep me sane. I'm sure if they're listening, they're shaking their heads right now, because they keep me on track, because my mind is in 3,000 different places. I'm big picture, they're day to day. So I mean, but Lisa, so Lisa and Carmen, shout out, because they keep me sane, and the whole rest of the student services team as well.
Didn't I read that the New Bern campus is going to have a honor a veteran by putting a flag in the front entrance?
Correct.
Did you already mention? You didn't mention that
I
yet.
did not.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us
a little bit about that too.
So we're doing a Field of Flags event.
Thank you. Good title.
Where we are going to, flood the main entrance of the main campus with flags, and we encourage the staff, faculty, bring their classes out as well if they'd like, to come put a flag out. Maybe it's a veteran maybe it's a service member that maybe has passed away in your family, maybe it's a grandparent, parent, whatever the case might be, or if you just want to honor the veterans in general. Encourage you to come put a flag out there. It's partnered with our VA office, as well as SGA ambassadors will be out there kind of guiding and telling everybody where to go.
How long
stick
will
a flag
that
on
stay
that
up?
carpet.
Will that stay up through Veterans Day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We also have some signage as well honoring our veterans. That's going to be out on the main highway, so that the rest of our community can also see that we care for our veterans.
And they could drive through.
Mm-hmm.
They can, yeah.
Yep.
Are we, as a college, providing the flags for staff? And
Yes.
Okay, and so where should people go to pick those up?
They'll just have to come that day. We'll have them out there.
Or just outside?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
They get a box O flags.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to say box O flags.
Yep. We're going to have awesome ambassadors out there kind of guiding people, and
Okay.
then we'll have a spot where they'll pick up the flag, maybe even a label if they want to write a name on there, for someone specific.
Great. Megan's looking at your coffee cup.
I was reading your coffee mug.
You want to hold it up to the camera
Sure.
so folks can see that one? Yeah.
Nothing without coffee
Yeah.
first.
Coffee first. What is it on the other side too? Oh, it's your flag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Were there any other events coming up that we should talk about that you want to mention? I want to make sure that we don't miss out on
I think that's
anything
it that's coming up for the rest of the semester.
Okay.
From our office. I did want to talk about a new process that we implemented that kind of is going to make everything a little bit streamlined for our veterans.
All right.
And that is, I know you said acronyms, so I'm going to throw some acronyms out there. And
Give me one.
all student veterans are required to complete an RCF, Request for Certification form.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, that's your golden ticket. That's how I'm telling them. It's Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. This is your golden ticket.
I went American Idol when you said golden ticket, but okay. You're going to Hollywood.
This is going to get you that money.
Yeah.
That they're talking about. This is going to get you your courses certified. So, any advisors listening, any workforce people listening, anybody that's putting hands on a student. Well, let me rephrase that. That's meeting with a student.
Advising.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure that they have this, because that's going to get them their courses certified. That tells us, I want you to certify my courses to the VA, because there's a lot of times there's semesters that they might not want them to do that because it's not beneficial to eat up at their benefits.
So that's a form that a student will fill out?
Correct.
Okay.
After they register.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And that makes it a little bit easier for them and helps them be involved in the process and know exactly what they're saying they want their money to go
They're
to.
signing on that dotted line. A lot of them,
Yeah.
we say that phrase over again. We signed our name on that dotted line. We stepped on those yellow footprints, so they know what that means. That's their cue. They're giving their okay.
So what about the process when the service member transfers their GI Bill to a dependent, whether it's a spouse or a child? Do they still have to come through your office as well,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yep, that's what we call Chapter 33, Transfer of Eligibility, TOE. And one thing I stress, if there are any service members on the call right now that are still active, that is a process that has to be started while they are still in active duty. It cannot be retroactive. It is not something that is done after they get out. It is while they are in service. Definitely talk to your command to find out a little bit more about it. I'm not 100% read up on the whole process, but encourage them to talk to their command, find out if that's something they want to do and what the requirements are for that.
And that's kind of what I was getting at before, is that it's really important that you engage in the process as early as possible, right? Because there's only so much you can do. There's a much larger federal mechanism that's at play that all you can do is help people understand the process, but you can't stop the gears from turning.
And that's exactly true. No names, of course, but we just had one of our veteran students who made a wrong selection. It's just a check mark on the application for their VA educational benefits, which I always encourage students. VA.gov, that should be your hub. Go there. That's going to give you all the information, more so than any of our offices can provide. But back to the student, they made a wrong selection to the point where it had to be petitioned to the Department of Defense to change their selection.
Wow.
And this meant thousands and thousands of dollars that the student would have to pay out. They were in the aviation program, and it could have been detrimental to them. So very, very important. If you don't know, I always tell our students, come in, ask us, let us either help you walk through it or find the resource, find the information for you before you sign off, and then it's set in stone.
Great. So let's remind folks, if they are interested in VA benefits, interested in upcoming events that we're having at the campus, or if they want to know about the student VA chapter, tell me the name of that one again?
Student Veterans of America, SVA.
SVA.
More acronyms.
Yep. Love it. So if they want to know any more information about that, remind everybody of the best way to get in touch with you.
Email va@cravencc.edu.
That's easy enough, right?
That's awesome.
Yep. We got a couple of things we're going to talk about going
Philly,
on.
Unless you've got something else to run to, you're welcome to stay. We'd love for you to stay, finish out the podcast with us.
Yep.
Awesome.
Happy to
but
be
we
here.
got some stuff we want to talk about.
Just a couple of community events.
Yeah.
And,
And
one
also
other thing
you
I
wanted
want
to
to point
talk
out,
about
yes. So Dr. Shelley Hines was going to join us today on the show, but she had something come up, and she was unable to attend, but she is one of our Spanish instructors here at the college, and she was going to talk to us a little bit about Day of the Dead. And so I got just a couple of bullet points about that I just want to mention. So starting on November 1, Day of the Dead celebrates the lives of those who once lived, with eating, drinking, and dancing with the living. And then on the next day, November 2nd, that's today, the living can eat the leftovers that the dead have left behind. So I'm still wondering where those deviled eggs are, by the way, Megan.
You wouldn't have wanted to eat them if they'd been out for a day.
That's true. That is true, yeah. So Day of the Dead has skeletons, painted faces, and lots of sweet treats, but it is not Halloween. There are lots of parades and children who get to eat candy, but Day of the Dead honors and commemorates death.
So All Hallows Eve is the eve before the Day of the Dead.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know all the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll believe you.
Okay. And also yesterday, go ahead.
No, there's just a lot of information here. Indigenous traditions plus All Souls Day plus All Saints Day equals Dia de los Muertos.
So November 1 is All Souls Day.
Okay.
Again, back to the providing food for the souls, right?
Okay.
And
soul
remembering
food?
them, not soul food, but very funny, very good. And then the November 2nd is All Saints Day.
So All Saints Day and Day of the Dead.
No, All Saints Day is separate from Day of the Dead.
Okay, but the same day.
No, November 2nd is All Saints Day.
Okay, I'm confused. Okay, well, that would explain the very last bullet here, which is this holiday means a lot of things to a lot of different people.
It does.
Yes.
Okay. They can celebrate any way you like.
You can.
On whatever day you want.
I'm going to eat leftovers.
Okay. Eat leftovers.
I will.
Okay.
All right, you've got some more things you want to talk about?
I also know that Shelley wanted us to talk about her study abroad in Italy.
Yes.
And that trip is going to be June 8th through the 18th. And she has been, she actually did a little broadcast from here, right?
Yes.
With another, I can't remember the other person that was in here with her. Anyway, they did a little informational podcast to share. So the college is hosting a study abroad. It's a 10-day trip to Italy next June. The final information session will be held tomorrow, November 3rd. There's not a day for that.
No.
It's just November 3rd.
It's Study Abroad Day.
It's Study Abroad Day from 11 a.m. to noon in room 218 of the Business and Information Technology Building. So if you're not familiar with that campus, you come on, circle around to the back. It's over there by the big CDL trucks.
Yeah.
BIT building, room 218. On the New Bern campus. Please note, the application deadline is next Monday, November 7th, my mother's birthday. Additional information,
birthday.
thank you. Additional information and the study abroad application can be found at cravencc.edu/study abroad.
Very nice. Phil, you ever been to Italy?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
Take me with you.
I
Yeah.
haven't either. So, and don't you get credits for this? Like you get course credits, I believe?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't speak on it, but I just remember hearing that buzz about getting what?
No, I would love to go.
You just said that
no,
smirk
we
when
need
I said buzz.
No, we need to find a way to go. Yes,
To
that's
go.
what you would do. You would just go and be buzzed on wine the whole time. Right. Yeah. Look at you thinking about drinking
Yeah.
wine in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah. You look, all the stress that you had when you walked in here, this de-stress day, it all just washed away.
Yes. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I volunteered to chaperone.
Yeah, right?
You know?
I think if they asked for volunteers for chaperones, it would be the longest list
Yes.
of everyone at the college. Yeah.
All right. You've got.
All right, so we got a
you
few
do
more
the
things
next
to talk
one.
about. Okay. So, opening this Friday is The Producers, Mel Brooks musical that'll be at New Bern Civic Theater. It's the first 3 weekends in November. So that's starting again this Friday from 7:30 to 10, and the Sunday matinees are from 2 to 5 p.m. The Producers is about a down-on-his-luck Broadway producer and his mild-mannered accountant who come up with a scheme to produce the most notorious flop in history, thereby bilking their backers, who are all little old ladies, out of millions of dollars. Only one thing goes awry. The show was a smash hit. The antics of Max Bialystock and Leo Bloom as they maneuver their way through finding a show, hiring a director, raising the money, and finally going to prison for their misdeeds in a lesson in broad comic construction. Not meant for children or those easily offended.
So we have some pictures, don't we, Zanetta?
Yeah. So I am in the show.
Yes.
Yeah, as
So
you-
don't be
as
offended
you
by
know.
Craig.
Yeah. Please don't be offended by me. But yeah, I'm in the ensemble for The Producers. So I play 6 different roles in this. So these are some of the photos from last night's rehearsal. So you got Max and Leo sitting on the couch there as Ulla, who is a Swedish secretary/receptionist, is doing a dance. And then on the right there, you have George Oliver playing the character of Franz Liebken, who is singing to his pigeons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why can't I see George doing that in real life?
Well, you can at
Because
New Bern
he-
Civic Theater the first 3 weekends in November.
No, not just that, but he's sits and sings and plays on his front porch. He's like singing to the pigeons
Yes,
downtown
he does.
New Bern.
Yeah, that's true. One of the things that's really there's lots of great big numbers in this show. So you got 30-some people in the cast. So when you've got these big numbers, you've got so many people on stage. And if you look at the one on the left, they do a tap routine with walkers. So they're all little old ladies, and they come marching out, and the walkers are doing the little taps. And so that's all the old ladies trying to give their money to Max Bialystock so they can fund his next production.
That's great.
And then on the right, yeah, you've got the end of one of our numbers there. So you can see George singing, and we've got Max and Leo in the middle and the walkers in the back. And then there's a crew to the right there, and I am in the mix in that group. It looks like I'm not wearing pants, but I'm just wearing very short shorts. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So yeah.
Very good.
And they're promising doing Scouts honor swears there. So yeah. You really get a sense for how big George is in that photo, don't you? He's a big guy. Yeah.
Well, he's big compared to everybody. Just tall.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff there. We got. I don't know if we have to go through all of them. We can click through some if you see some you want to show or not. But
very good. We got another one. The Newbern Artist Studio Tour is going to be Saturday, November 5th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Artists all over Newbern will open their doors to their studios and give the public a glimpse of how they make their magic happen. Visit newbernartist.com for a map of the locations. They've been doing this for a while, and I think it's really cool. They, of course, like most everything else, they stopped during COVID, and but this is a great opportunity for our local artists to invite people a little bit closer to where they create their beautiful artwork. So it's neat stuff.
Yeah, and it gets you out and about. Walk around and see the town a little bit, right?
Get you out and about. Yeah. So speaking of another out and about, so you know that the big empty Old Harris Teeter building? That strip center, and there's a bunch of businesses that have been opened. There's a new business that's going to be coming back in, and they've got a grand opening. It's Jenna's Justin Boutique and Bites and Board, and one of your favorite words, charcuterie.
Keep trying.
No, you do it for me. Help me. Charcuterie.
Yeah.
So you can go in. So in this place, it's really kind of cool. It's 6,000 square feet of retail space with a restaurant inside, the first ever in Craven County, where you can actually sip, eat, and shop all in one location. That could be stress-free. Sip, eat, and shop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Where's the stress?
No, just paying for it. That's all.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
They're going to have live music. So if the grand opening is Saturday, November 5th, starting at 10 a.m., the first 50 customers will get a bag of goodies. So, and there'll be Christmas music and Santa selfies and all that kind of fun stuff. So,
how are we there already? Are we really at Christmas time already?
Somebody sent me a text message with how many days until Christmas, and I sent back, and I've got a Bitmoji for everything, and I sent back like the stressed look. I'm like, I don't need that stress.
Yeah.
Like, no, just ignore it. So,
so the show started with me being aware of stress, and now the show is ending with me being aware of one of the most stressful times and things that happens all year.
Christmas stresses you out?
Yes, it does. Specifically getting gifts and buying gifts, because I always feel as though I've either forgotten somebody or I feel as though I have not gotten as much as I should have for the kids specifically.
Yeah. Well, I think in perspective, I think just as we talked about it, Stress Awareness Day. So you'd have to figure out how to cope with that. So maybe shopping early and making a list.
That never happens. And I always have a list.
Okay.
But yeah,
I get a list and then I overbuy and then I forget. And I kind of shop throughout the year, so I'll see something special for somebody and I'll tuck it away. The hard part is remembering where I put it.
Yes. Has that happened to you, Philly?
Yes.
I find gifts throughout the next year.
Yes.
Do you really?
Things that I've meant to give people.
Yeah. Does anything stand out before or in the past that you got for somebody and then you...
A blanket.
Yeah.
A horse blanket, that had their name on it too. So it's not like I could re-gift it later on, and it had like a date. So now I'm like,
oh shoot,
what do you do? And it was personalized instead of whatever I probably got him that year.
My mother was notorious for that.
Yeah. For
finding and then stashing away in a drawer, a closet, a pantry, whatever. And so often we would get them in our Easter baskets. Like whatever the gift was, she'd dump them in the Easter basket. So.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah.
You still get to use it, but yeah.
But if it was a dated thing, that would be kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the trap that I fall into every year is that I'll make a list, and then I'll go buy the things on the list, and then I will wrap the things and put them under the tree, and it will feel like it's not a lot of stuff. Like even if I gave my kid like $1 million and put it in a box, I would put it under the tree and feel as though I had not gotten him enough for Christmas because there's just one box sitting there.
Get some filler boxes.
I need some filler boxes.
Get some filler boxes.
That's what I need to de-stress my life, right?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of empty boxes that I can just wrap.
Bunch of empty boxes. That sounds so pitiful.
Therapy
Isn't it
wrapping.
Yeah, therapy
wrapping.
Yeah, there you go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot going on this week, so come out and support our veterans next week. We've got stuff going on downtown, the shows, the businesses. So again, shop local. I mean, as you were talking about Christmas just literally being around the corner, just remember that. Just stay here in Craven County and support our folks and take good care of them.
Yes, absolutely.
And our restaurants and all that kind of good stuff. I don't want to be negligent. We do have an empty chair next to us.
Yes.
Wendy, just for those who may not know, she's taken a new position. She's going to stay in education. We're very excited for her, but we're also very sad that the chair is empty next to us. So
yes.
We haven't figured out what that looks like moving forward, but Craig and I will put our heads together and brainstorm. If you got suggestions, you can certainly chime in. Not saying I'm going to promise to take it, but you can chime in if you want.
Yeah.
But she'll be very missed, and we're just excited.
So very happy
forward.
for Wendy, but definitely miss having her here at the table with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She brought us sunshine, kind of like behind my elbow. All right, Philly, you got anything else?
That is all. Come to the luncheon. Come to Field of Flags. Luncheon's on Marine Corps birthday. So all you jarheads out there, I know you're going to remember that date.
Free food.
Come get some free food. All right.
Free food. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks for coming on the show today, Philly. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll be back next week. August.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. We're now in November.
Let's go.
It's November 9th. We'll be back next Wednesday, November 9th. And we hope that you will come and join us. So stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.